Azora sort of, nods at that and taking a long, puff on the thing, just sort of looking out over the city. Far too many kids, their whole life, everything they know gets burned down around them. That's what leads to people like us. People who aren't good for much but hurting others.
Don't say
Still,
that.
and looking at this place, and Azora, sort of, kicks the edge of, the building, on the roof. It's a good...
Like a railing on the...
Yeah, a railing, whatever. The, border thing. I assume it's not just a flat roof, Azora's
The building falls over and breaks its neck.
Fuck you.
But yeah, Azora, indicating the building. It's a good thing that you're doing here, and think, regardless of anything that happened in Zebedee, a lot more people are losing everything now than they were.
Yeah.
And this sort of thing's all the more needed.
I don't know what future holds for Terrebonne. I know they've got that camp outside. I don't want this city to be involved in the war whatsoever, but apparently we belong to the bloody Confederacy, and apparently our mayor is just little more than a figurehead. I thought we'd tricked them well enough that we'd actually have some sway over things, but no, we don't.
So wait, she doesn't have power?
She has the power if people believe she has power.
What more does any politician have?
Anyway.
God, having village elder was easier because you knew village elder knew what they were talking about.
Anyway, yeah, I'll talk to her. I don't know what... It took me years and years and years to break out of what stupid cycle I was in. But,
Well, hopefully you can stop someone else from falling into it.
You're doing better than I did. When I was in that, I was going around hurting people for coin, thinking if I got strong enough, then nothing in the world would ever be able to scare me. After the whole dragon incident, I realised you just gotta live with these things.
It's an important lesson to learn. There's always gonna be someone stronger than you.
Oh no, I have the feeling looking at you two would have fucking gone at that dragon rather than listened to it. But...
Doesn't mean we would have survived.
Yeah, but it also might have meant a lot less people would have been hurt in the path of it. I haven't been in a proper fight in a couple of years now. This is what I do. I just exhibition fight and try to not do as much damage as I used to. But you two, you've been through that pain and suffering, and you're trying to help a kid. Pay must be good for that.
And Azora looks down at the billowing. You're helping plenty of people, probably more than we do.
Yeah, but I like to think I'm past it now, if that makes sense. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what... At some point you go over it and you think of another way to live life.
It's a nice idea. Still, here to, if you can convince the kid of that, I'll appreciate it.
He kind of cocks his head, looks over at C and says, I'll try. Honestly, despite the fact I've given it up, I was always better with my fists than my words, so...
Axe is better with his axe than words.
Well, that's grand. We both know where we stand then.
Yes.
It's in this whole time, Axe has barely said anything, so Vickers really leans in and whispers to Azora, is he alright?
As much as he ever is.
Alright. Well, just keep an eye on him. This is a dangerous town, and he might do some damage to it.
Six walks down the stairs. Azora, every cell in Axe's body in excruciating pain.
Alright, yeah. She's at the inn with where Clinton was at.
Okay, yeah. As you head down, you see there's a small advertisement for the fights gym. and you see Clinton like sort of like you see Clinton at like the little like painted on advertising for the fight sim. He seems to be trying to affix something to it.
Clinton, what the fuck are you doing to my advertisement?
What? I
Actually, why
came
are
up
we-
with the little.
I'm gonna say because like he doesn't even want to put advertisements for fights in here. He thinks it's like a bad image to fucking say Fight Club in a homeless shelter.
Well, yeah. He said, well, I was just practicing. I just wanted to know how you thought this looked, and he just moves like the sort of like the sort of canvas a bit, and just says like, look what I've affixed to it. Like I want to put this on the gym, I think. And there, look in the Discord.
Oh god.
Hard kicks flow.
Tart abdomen's flavor.
Oh,
Vigor just,
interesting.
Azora sort of like scratches, the side of her head, just sort of thinks to herself, my head must be getting worse. Can barely read this stuff anymore.
Clinton, like Vigor just like is about to yell at Clinton, but then he like, all right, and he puts his hand on his shoulder and says, Clinton, you've got to understand, we're not looking for advertisements right now. We're in a period of exponential shiftings in the business sector, and I don't think we can afford the rates of, and don't say it's free because I'd never accept that. So I'm deeply won't know. I'm all right. Just not today. All right.
All right. I just.
Oh,
Lydia hasn't given me a new job. Hasn't come up with a job for me yet.
Keep looking. Maybe some manual labor will get those mental juices flowing. I don't know.
Ah, jeez, I don't know about that. What? Let's just go see what their people are up to, huh?
Sure.
What does regular checks verify mean?
I think it was. I think that's in reference to our drug tests, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Drug test?
It verifies that they're all on the level. All right, come on.
But in real fights you don't test drugs. Oh wait, you run Fight Club, don't you? Axe wants to try it.
Well, we can go down to fights later on if you want to have a look, but we're not. Actually, are we hosting anything at the moment?
I don't think I think they're just fucking training. They're just fucking. It's just the gym.
Yeah. So we're not hosting any exhibitions, no pits, no gambling at the moment. It's just training period.
Oh, lame.
We're having a bit of a down period. You can't just fight all the time non-stop.
They're all
Yes,
really.
you can. It's called surviving in the wild.
Well, we're in a city right now.
Yeah. Ainsley
Yeah,
told me I could be the mascot.
Ooh, you're like the
Did you
target
now?
that everyone. Oh, you're like the target. You're like the destruction.
Yeah. I was asking what I could do, and he said, "Hey, maybe you could be the mascot." And then he like had a laugh. So, you know.
and then
I
get it. And then you throw the mascot in the fight, and everyone else, the enemies, try to attack the mascot instead of you.
Is that what they do?
Devilish.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do, Clinton. The mascot is there to give them something else to punch, spice up fights a bit. But if you still want to,
You're a
take
brave
it, we'll
man for
gladly-
being mascot. Axe can take a beating, but
I'll have to talk to Ainsley about that. And yeah, he just leads back to the area. So Aegis,
By the way, I was just, as we're walking on the city, Azor, seeing the posters. By the way, I meant to ask. It says don't say the C word. What is the C word we're not supposed to say?
Vigor just looks and says, I'd have to say it to tell you, wouldn't I?
yes. So what is it?
Can't say it.
Can you
write it down?
Yeah, it
No.
doesn't say anything about writing. Come on, write it down.
Azora
Axe.
and Axe just start guessing every word that starts with the
I
letter
can't
C.
believe that you made Vigor so vainglorious that it's posters years later that you can't say the C word.
I can't say it. It's not allowed. It's a slur.
Is it Axios got to... Is it sorry, what's it called?
Listen, all of you. Like Vigor walks in front of the group, does a thing where he turns around and stops. You are not to talk about the C word, you're not to ask about the C word, and if you do, anything they tell you will be a cock and bull story.
Yeah.
What were you
after,
gonna say there?
After a bit of a pause, Clinton just turns to you and just says, "Words have power."
That they do.
Axios leans into us. Was he gonna say cuck?
Axe is immediately arrested.
there's a police sniper on a roof who just
Yeah.
But Axe innocent.
Okay, so Aegis.
wouldn't they
Come back
also
to you.
destroy him?
Yeah.
Destroy Vigor. Anyway, yes.
Aegis, you get an innate sense that you get an innate sense that you should not be in the room soon.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
You know what? I'm gonna go check on the cart.
You have
It's
a
a
car?
dangerous town. Yeah, I have a cart. Who are you?
I like to think that both Vigor and Aegis pass each other, and they just go, hey.
Hey.
There, actually, Azora does have one last quick question before we meet Sylvana, though. For Vigor, as we're approaching the place. Azora does just ask Vigor, you mentioned with the dragon wishes.
Yeah.
Do you get those wishes in the end?
Dragons are genies?
Yeah, that we did.
What did you wish for? If you don't mind my asking.
He looks a little bit sheepish about answering that. Because he feels it was a good wish, but it's also just feels fucking sappy to say it. So
Be endearing.
I just used it to help a friend out.
Oh, that's nice. Axe like that. Not selfish at all. Axe can respect that big punchy man. Well, tiny punchy man. Well, you're big compared to others.
Azora just sort of nods.
Truth
Just
be-
curious.
Yeah.
And then Clinton just thought, was it your wish that inspired me to write my wedding vows?
No.
Oh. That was all me then.
Congr-
And then,
What's
he
wedding
starts
vows?
walking with more confidence.
Oh god, his wedding vows must have gone on for several hours.
You just cut to people sat at those round tables and they're all asleep.
Oh god, O'Malley. I feel like Azora would have had to bind O'Malley's mouth shut.
O'Malley was not
I've got
invited.
canon on this. His wedding vows went on for so long, people were falling asleep, and that's the time when they were asleep, O'Malley picked everyone's pockets, and that's how he fucking built his business.
I find it amazing that O'Malley was actually invited to Lilia's wedding.
He was an important part of them getting together as a couple.
It was a formality.
Yeah, but it's O'Malley.
Yeah.
It was a formality, it had to be done.
Formality.
He was the other mayoral
O'Malley.
candidate in the race they met each other in,
Alright, so, Aegis, what do you leave to do? What do you
I
think?
go to, as I say, check on the cart.
Alright, check on the cart, set up that,
Wait,
paper
Aegis.
delivery, that paper
I
system.
thought it was Vigor
Yeah.
that checked on the cart.
No. It's Aegis. Aegis has to leave the room because Vigor's gonna enter the room, and we can't
Yeah.
have them in the same space.
If they
That would
show
be-
up in the same room, it's like that. There's this one horror game on PS1 where the idea is you control a bunch of different like characters maneuvering around a space station, but there's like a curse or like virus going on where if the two of them enter the same
Is
room
this
at any
that Mars
time,
game or is
they
it not
both
Mars?
explode.
No. It's
Oh.
not Mars.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that one Back to the Future game, based on the second part, where there is like a mini game where you have to
I was
guide.
just gonna say, I thought Neo was about to reference Back to the Future, where if the two meet, the fucking world, the universe will end.
Yeah.
Ow.
Alright,
saw
so,
Fredo
yeah.
tweet trending on Twitter, and I thought Fredo chocolate bars had ended.
Oh damn.
Yeah, Corona got them.
So I saw Christopher Lee trending the other day, and I thought, oh, has he died? Yeah.
Oh.
Turns out.
Now that's it on recording.
Someone finally recorded that Christopher Lee died.
It was unknown until now, but I'm here with the glib
We
news.
really broke the story on that.
Okay, but so is Aegis going to like set up the flash paper?
Yeah, he's gonna go and I don't know who. He's gonna go look for someone to talk to and so
probably heads into like the restaurant.
You can talk to the mayor.
Yeah,
I
the mayor,
hope
exactly.
Vigor doesn't enter while I'm elsewhere in the book.
Yeah.
Can I just exit through the window? I feel like I have to. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so yeah, you're going to go do that. But should we do that or should we do Vigor with Sylvana first?
Which do you guys want to do first? Maybe get the light stuff out of the way with Vegas. Yeah, let's get eight. Oh,
I think that works with the pacing wise. We spent a lot of time with Vigor, like we can alternate scenes.
Yeah, so Aegis goes to the cart, grabs some sheets of paper, kind of gets the corresponding papers, and then sets those up, and then he goes to go and speak to Lydia.
Lydia?
Lydia?
Breaking Bad?
Lydia.
Why the fuck? My brain goes to Lydia. the
Breaking
fuck?
Bad?
I was watching a bunch of Breaking Bad videos earlier. Anyway. Lilia.
Okay, so yeah, when you head the restaurant, she's actually just sort of meeting with the patrons, just sort of asking them how the food is. She's in a she seems in good spirits.
Can I count on your vote next time? Can I count on your vote? Or do they even have more elections?
No one's brought it up yet.
I see. Because I can just imagine if another election happened, O'Malley's like, I'm gonna put my own proxy candidate here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We should never hold another election.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. She basically, her mayor outfit is basically like a pencil dress, I'd say.
So yeah,
I designed the mayor outfit.
Aegis waits for her to just have a moment of break and then goes over to talk.
Oh, hello. You seem new.
Yeah, I turned up last night. I was with the group that complimented Clinton, apparently.
Oh, yeah, he was really happy when he came to bed last night. Thank you for that. Not enough people appreciate him.
I'm sure.
So what can I do for you?
Well, I run or partly run a mercenary group called the No Ones. We go around helping out people who aren't really involved in the war. Helping civilians move stuff, taking care of dangerous people, making sure the people who aren't protected get protected.
Huh? Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, she kind of scratches her head.
It's kind of why we were in town. We were just trying to help someone get to Vigor who really needed to see him.
Get to Vigor. Oh, you were here to see Vigor. That's right, Vigor. Why are you here? Who needed to see Vigor, by the way?
Sylvana, girl. You might have seen her earlier on when we were having breakfast. The teenage elf girl.
Oh, yeah? Why did she seem to see him?
She was. It's a long story. Like, he just kind of brushes past that.
What?
They've got there's some personal stuff that needs to be worked out.
Did they know each other?
They sort of know each other. Like, they do know each other. They met a few years back.
Oh, where's she from?
Oh god, she's not gonna let it go. Do I evade? Do I evade? Do I have any reason to evade?
I mean, I don't think so.
No.
I mean, even Aegis
Quick.
wouldn't even know that there's anything shady with it.
Yeah, true.
Quick, roll dexterity to
Yeah,
evade.
no, he just. Oh, she's from Zebedee.
Oh, Zebediah. Uh, all right. So about you wanted to set up a place where people can find your services then?
Yeah, he
And yeah,
he's-
she's
yeah,
sort
the
of twiddling
papers.
with her hair now.
I'm sorry. Is there something I should know?
Oh, no. It's more that this is the kind of thing that, as mayor, I do a lot of. My job is really like I like to do like a lot of public outreach, but for like this sort of more. Basically, there's someone you should talk to about this. Let me go get her.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
wow.
She'll help you out.
Wait,
And,
but the papers though. Just as she walks
Oh.
off.
the papers. It's like, oh, you know what? Just follow me. Follow me.
Okay. Oh no, I'm gonna be led down into the fucking crime basement, and I might never see the light again.
I
So
like
where-
how
where does
everyone
Ariana
is
stay?
I'm just gonna say I like how everyone is unfazed by this walking corpse.
We
I mean,
live in a
people are-
fantasy
Years.
land.
Yeah, years to get used to it. What? So where does Ariana stay?
Like she would probably have, I mean, she would go between. I think at this point we probably have that tunnel built between here and the Lonely
Okay.
Pigeon, but she would probably be working in an office here, or like a back room.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, she leads you upstairs, and sort of like goes like through like sort of back, sort of takes a hallway into the back once you get upstairs, as opposed to directly, because like the direct path is to her bedroom.
Actually, what
So-
time is it? Ariana might still be asleep at this hour.
It's probably, we'll say it's like noon.
Okay, no, she'd be
Yeah.
awake then.
Okay, so yeah, she and Lilia takes you to like a sort of sort of more like looks like more like working space. What looks like sort of behind people just kind of writing things down and sort of going over financials and stuff. And you get to like a double door that she knocks on, and she's just sort of tapping on her own shoulder, on her own elbow.
Come in.
And yeah, she opens the door, and in there you see a woman with
I'm gonna. Can I roll Spout Lore to see if I knew about Ariana?
Sure.
Because if he knew about Vigor, it's probably.
Yeah. Well, Vigor had a far more of a public face.
Yeah, well, Vigor made like a public face for himself.
Yeah.
Like, hard to say whether Ariana made a similar effort to be like somewhat. She was involved
Somewhat,
in the mail.
kind of, somewhat.
I mean, I know
Right,
yeah.
interesting things, but not.
So you know something interesting. I mean, I guess you know that people have just kind of. There have been talk about, oh hey, yeah, there's a half spider woman living in Terrebonne now. Pretty cool. The past few years.
Also a
Interesting.
crime boss, but that's.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously it's like there's no secret that Ariana like owns this building or like works with the mayor, but
Yeah.
whereas the whole crime boss thing is, I mean, still a very open secret, but like that's technically not public knowledge, but it effectively is.
So, Snake handled Vigor's, did the narrated basically Vigor showing up. So, yeah, we open the door. What do we see?
Ariana is essentially sitting at, a desk. This is a pretty simple room. This isn't furnished or anything. We'll say this connects directly to the mayor's office. Like there is a door between the two, but this is almost a storeroom. Like, there are lots of boxes of stuff, and there's a little fireplace on one side that doesn't have a fire in it and just sort of has a grate in there. But she's sort of sitting at a desk looking at some papers and sort of writing, but pretty slowly writing some stuff with her fingertips, actually, on a piece of paper. What do you need?
Hey, I have someone here who wants to put up advertisement for their rescuer mercenary services.
Yeah, Ariana sort of actually looks up and, raises, eyebrow at that.
And she walks forward a bit and says, he has quite a nice company of people with him. There is a really nice, they're really nice to Clinton, complimented his poetry. Had a really large guy with an axe. There was this really cool lady with a lot of armor. Had someone in mage robes and a young elf girl from Zebediah.
Yeah, no, Ariana just immediately, her eye, expression changes.
They were here to meet with Vigor, but in the meantime, he also wants to see if he can't set up a job board.
I see. Thank you, Lilia, for bringing this in. And, Ariana, with a big grin, sort of stands to the man. Sir, you can come in. And, gestures towards a chair in front of her desk.
Yeah, Aegis has been, stood pretty far towards the back, and he just kind of, gingerly walks forward. Just, very much aware, right? He doesn't think he's under any great danger, but the way the mood has gone and changed, and the way he's with the mention of Zebedee and Vigor, he's very much aware of the fact he's carrying no weapons on him right now. But yeah, he sits down. He's just puts the papers on the desk.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Ariana, takes the papers and looks. So what are these exactly?
These are magic papers. They are two-way.
Mm-hmm.
You write on one, and the message comes up on the other. Which
I'm familiar. Ariana says, sort of tapping the papers on her desk.
We've been going around the cities and putting these up and just essentially having a small fee to pay to take one outright, and we receive the message and get around to it in due time.
I see. So you want these?
Don't ask if we've done any of them. Don't ask if we've done any of them.
I see. And so you're looking for a place to place these, so people can come to you with jobs.
Essentially.
Somewhere public. Right. And so then Ariana just sort of shuffles the papers back together and puts them back down on her desk. So, tell me about your group. What brings you to Terrebonne other than these flyers? What sort of work are you doing?
He's a bit thrown because that was just explained, but we were escorting someone here to meet with Vigor. But we've done a few jobs. We saved a few souls from another dimension. We investigated a murder. We investigated a murder up in Flint Beach. He reels off some of the past jobs they've done, some of their past escapades. Saving a guy who was stuck in a time loop. Guy who got stabbed with a fucking ego. Well, doesn't go into brutal details, but really it's just whatever falls on their laps. If it's dangerous and interesting, they'll take it. But they try to avoid doing any jobs for.
Yeah, and so then I said, well, how can we say that they're doing a good thing if they're living a lie? And so Azora said, well, the dream is keeping them safe.
Can you believe that? Do you agree that that's fucked up?
Azora said, so you said you'd come here to meet Vigor? I know him. I might be able to help you. Why don't you tell me about that?
Where to start? We a compatriot of mine, Coram. He was from Zebedee. He wanted to go and meet a friend of his who also used to live there. There was a girl from the village who was pretty badly shaken up over the whole ordeal, and he asked that when I told her that Vigor was still alive, which she was unaware of, we brought her here to meet with him. Hopes it might just meeting someone from the night that tragedy occurred.
Ariana's expression starts to, and she like holds up a hand to like stop him. Wait, this girl, what did you say her name was?
Sylvana.
And Ariana sort of leans back in her chair, sort of puts her hand on her face and starts laughing. My God, I can't believe it. You know, after all these years, I sent some of my best guys out looking for that fucking kid. Well, where did you say you found her at? Where was she?
Custer.
Wait, Custer. Oh God. You didn't. There wasn't a rat, was there? Involved in this?
I never ran into a rat. No.
Oh, thank God. Well, we can hope. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Just think, in case said yes, she might actually be a walking bomb.
Oh no! O'Malley got to her.
But I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, sir.
Aegis Aglier.
Mr. Aglier. Well, I greatly appreciate you finding Miss Sylvana. We, believe it or not, we've been trying to, I, on Vigor's behalf, have been trying to find that very girl for quite a while now as a favor to him. Can I offer you a drink? And, Ariana sort of stands up, walks over to one of the crates near her, pulls off the top, and just, pulls out a bottle of liquor, from some straw.
Sure.
And, a couple
Crate.
glasses.
Sure.
Yeah, just, pours him a glass of whiskey, essentially. And just sits back in her seat with her glass, just... Well, I never. So, tell me, how did you find this girl, exactly? I mean, or what was she doing when you found her? What was her situation?
She was killing criminals.
Wait, Custer?
Yeah.
So Bright...
Town is a mess right now.
Oh, Bright Skies. No kidding, that was her. Interesting.
It's funny that wasn't me who said that. Oh, but she just pieced that together perfectly fine.
Yeah,
I thought you were responding to Swede, who I wasn't listening to.
No, she would know Bright. Not close, but
I think we killed Bright in that incident, right?
No, you did not.
Just a few of his higher up guys.
A few, some of the mid bosses.
Yeah.
So Ariana would reasonably know that Bright was dealing with, people getting killed.
That she was. Well, she was.
Yeah, and Ariana just sort of says, "Always an asshole." I'll have to thank her for that. And just takes another drink. So, what do you want for the kid?
What?
Well, you took her to Vigor. I mean, was this for something? Where you?
I was doing it for. I was doing this for a member of my company.
How?
He asked us to check in on her, and we are doing that.
Well, I guess. All right then. I appreciate you bringing it. Where is she?
Aegis is really on edge right now. Just, she's downstairs.
Mm-hmm. I'll send some boys over.
She's in the inn area. Yeah. It's an adjacent building, and Vigor's on his way there. So
yeah,
she's everyone.
At the inn.
Yeah, that's what Ariana doesn't know right now. That Vigor has already been pulled.
Oh dear.
I'm starting to think that we played the bad guys in last shit. in the last.
Yeah, so I realised, oh wow, we were different people, huh?
Yeah, and Ariana just sort of think, all right, well, this works. I'll get some people, either take her to Vigor or bring Vigor over here. He'll be happy that that piece of the puzzle is back.
Well, Lilia clears her throat and just says, Ariana?
Yeah.
So Clinton was so happy about the poem things that first thing in the morning he went and took the armored girl and the big one to go see him personally himself and grab him and bring him over.
They got bigger.
Yeah.
They talked to him. And, Ariana just sort of pinches, her nose and just sort of mutters, "My fucking husband, Jesus. Sharona." Alright, Lilia, thank you. Go do mayor stuff.
Can't believe that in several
that's what I
years,
do.
just never chilled on the whole, get that elf child, make him work for me. And now she's like a super ninja, and it's like even more tempting.
Yeah.
It's like we played bad people.
So your friends have already gone to meet Vigor then?
That seems to be the case.
I see. Well,
Is this a problem?
not necessarily. I just like to know what's going on and like to keep an eye on things, so to speak. Keep a thread handy.
Right.
Tell me about your friends.
Well, yeah.
Name and physical descriptions, please.
Have they got any ID? Any startling weaknesses?
Yeah. Armor
like
girl
to
and
dance
big
with the
guy.
devil
Tell
in the
me
pale
about.
moonlight?
If you had to assign a number to like their armor,
Can
what
you
would
tell me
what
their
number would that be?
MBTI was, who's...
You know, I'm just gonna say, I have a feeling that the half spider monster is gonna be interested in the half ogre man.
How many hits do you think they could take if you had to like give each hit a point?
Oh, tell me about these two.
Get a
What are
load of this.
Get a load of this.
Well, I don't know where to begin. They're both they're both rather capable warriors. I've been working with them for the last how long has it been? Like a month and as long as it's been like a month, 2 months at this point in game. I don't know, like how long it's been.
I think somewhere in that area. No longer than that. We spent a week in Custer. We spent 2 weeks with the fucking in Seneca.
Oh yeah.
Like,
so we've been
I
a
think
couple
at
of
least
months.
2 months.
It's about a week with the dream people too.
Yeah.
So a couple of months. What? They're rather intense. Azora, Axe, rather large guy. Seems a bit simple, but I think there's an intelligence hidden away in there somewhere. Don't rile him up. Just don't.
All our names start with A.
Yeah, that's yeah, and well, they stopped one. Not all of our companions, sadly. We should have had it that all of our companions began with A.
Also, we're no one.
We're the no ones. We're the no ones, damn it.
Azora sort of sighs, leaning back in her chair. Opens a drawer on the desk and pulls out a cigar and just. Tell me, how much do you know about Zebedee?
Not much. It was apparent. The way Sylvana tells it, it was a paradise. Tiny little peaceful elf village out in the Gulpers Marsh, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone from there has been displaced in some way. She didn't know about Vigor's Vigor trying to build a place for them to come to, so word didn't spread
It's a
quite as far
shame
as
what
I'd have
happened
liked.
to that place. They didn't deserve what happened to them. Vigor,
Yeah.
that man, he's a good man. And what happened there, he felt it personally. And he's done everything he can to help those people.
The way it's been explained is he ran in trying to warn them of the coming monster, and then was taken down before he could do much. But
It's wanted to do more. People in general want to do more, but most of the time, people don't get to decide how much they can and can't do. And Azora, god damn it. Ariana just sort of leans back into her chair. Alright. Let's hope this goes well then. Tell you what, your papers, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. No one in this town is going to pay you mercenaries to do a favor for them. If someone in this town the defenseless, the weak, the poor, if they need a favor, if they need a job, they come here. They come to the mayor. They come to me. And the mayor doesn't charge coin up front, if you get my meaning.
right, yeah.
You're not going to have much of a niche, but I'll tell you what. Leave your papers with me. If anyone comes to me with some sort of job or favor that they need done that requires some mercenary work outside of Terrebonne, I'll drop a job your way, and I promise you, I pay better than any of the people here in this city.
Right. Aegis nods, and then like gets up to return to the inn, but he does turn back and say, just so you know, we're mercenaries, but we're not criminals. We only want to help people. And
Ariana sort of thinks on that and then just says, Mr. Aglier, there are plenty of criminals who just want to help people. And plenty of mercenaries who just want coin.
I'll bear that in mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually no, he does. So Aegis has gone to the door, but then he stops. And this is like the moment where I have to decide whether to go through on that whole plan with Deadwater. I don't even know if Ariana would take it. That was like my plan. Is like, hey, they're weakened, they got valuables. But yeah, no, Aegis is gonna do it. He's gonna do the shitty thing. He's gonna do the bad moral choice, which is, he then turns back and says, by the way, while I have you, there is a tip-off I'd like to bring to your attention. And
Ariana sort of gestures short towards the chair again.
yeah, he walks back over and sits back down. Seems a lot more like cocksure than he was a moment ago, but inside not terribly happy about it. You know about Loose Branch, right?
Of course.
They've been sacking caravans, they've been attacking people, robbing them, people who've been trying to get here, people who are probably gonna come to Terrebonne and end up in one of Vigor's accommodations, or I don't know, just make a new life in Terrebonne, making it quite difficult for them. They had a problem. They were ransacked by, they were experimented on and left to rot, attacked, mutated, essentially. The place is in shambles. We helped them out, but let's just say the place is loaded down. The place is loaded down with valuables. Got barely any defenses. There's only about 20 people there, and about near half of them are infirm at the moment. So, if you want a big payday, and you want to clear a path so that people who are fleeing the war to get here aren't in danger anymore, well, there's a big opening if you act on it right now.
Why are you telling me? Like you said, there's a big payday and you want to help people. Like you said, these are bandits attacking people traveling.
I gave him my word that I wouldn't take a job there. So, I'm good enough to give my word, but not quite act on the intent of it, I suppose. So as you said, there's criminals who want to help people and there's mercenaries who just want coin.
I see. So you made a deal. You wouldn't attack them, but I take it you wanted to. So you pass it along.
My companions wanted to, more than anything. I told them not to. I tried to keep the situation peaceful while they were still useful as allies to us to get a job done that needed doing. But my companions aren't too happy. I did tell them that I wasn't just going to let a bad deed go unpunished.
Ariana sort of, scratches her chin a bit and thinks, and all right. I appreciate the tip. Truth be told, I don't know how much we even have the resources to act on it now. A lot of what we do is run those shelters in, sort of gesturing around. As you might figure, we're pretty busy with that these days, but it's a good tip.
I'm pretty sure the people in those shelters might be glad to be reunited with their belongings.
You'd make a good criminal.
Yeah, I might.
If this whole mercenary thing doesn't pan out, maybe a job for you down here sometime.
Maybe down the road. Yeah, and with that, Aegis gets up and heads out and just think on the tip.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you know how it goes.
And
Ariana is already writing some stuff on papers again. More quickly this time.
Aegis heads out.
All right.
I have no idea if that plan was a good plan in the end, but we'll see.
Okay, so Vigor, Azora, and Axe approach the inn.
We approach the inn.
Yeah, the inn. You open up to the inn lobby to see the no one's sans Aegis sort of just hanging around. Actually, Lotus isn't there, and neither is Jailbird.
Oh,
yeah.
They are. Azora does ask,
Estrella and Reina are eating at a table off to the side. And
Azora
Silvana's at her own table, just sort of sitting around.
Nostria and Reina, where's Lotus and the bird?
Oh, Jailbird said that she wanted to go check on see if some things she left around town were still around, and Lotus offered to basically make sure no one accosted her.
I see.
I'll be right back. Sorry, I know I'm playing Vigor.
Nice.
I'm just gonna wash my hands.
Yeah.
Takes that.
Vigor enters the room, and Silvan's like, "Oh my god!" And Vigor just immediately heads to the bathroom.
He disconnects.
Estrella and Reina are eating. Let's see. What would be the random food generator? Let's see what they're eating.
Also, Neo, I'm gonna actually be real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all coming down. At least one player will never leave me.
Okay, I'm back.
Look, Azora, clocks. We can break these to remove time. Help me, Azora. Look, Zora.
I'm
Look,
back.
Zora. Hammers.
Oh, I finally checked on the other thing.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, Azora and Nostrea and Reyna are just having toast. Silavana is just sort of on a different table, just sort of twiddling with a knife, staring at the entrance when Vigor walks in, and then she sees like her eyes just kind of widen, and she seems at a loss for words when she sees you.
Yeah, Vigor kind of like pauses, looking at her, like has to make an effort to like walk to the table and walk to the table and sit down across. I'm imagining like
Yeah.
they're sat alone at another table.
Yeah.
Azora
She
does
was
go
alone
to
at the
like
table.
sit next to them, sort of next to Sylvana, but like
Right.
just for to have a bit of emotional support there, best she can.
I'm not sure where to begin. We had people out looking for you, but never found you.
People looking for me.
Yeah, Vigor nods. After what happened, I put up shelters to try and take people in from Zebedee, but we couldn't find everyone. A few have come and gone, made lives where they can, but it's not.
How did you live?
Vigor looks at Azora with that, and then he settles on being honest with it and says, "All right, this is a long one." So he tells what he told Azora. The attack was faked, and he explains the dragon and what happened and why, the background, the story.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
as you're telling the story, her face kind of like her eyes just kind of sink in, and like you see just a sort of like she just kind of looks, her eyes kind of just go a little dead as like she's like processing all of this.
What we did was unforgivable. There was no reward we could have been promised that would have been worth destroy. I'm pretty sure we tell ourselves we didn't take any lives that day, but we definitely took lives that day.
Azora does sort of put a hand on her shoulder, to like just as emotional support for this.
I saw you die. I thought I saw you die, a hero.
He shakes his head.
I lived my life according to what I thought the hero that you were would want. I dedicated myself to stopping any monsters from cropping up again. It's all based on a lie.
You did better than most people would do after something like that. I'm sorry I'm sorry about the lie. I'm sorry about the life it led you down. I'm sorry we didn't find you sooner.
I returned.
So, you're part. Are you the people? I remember some people looking for me. They were criminals. I dealt with them as such. You hired them?
I wanted to give you We didn't know if you'd found a place to stay, if you had anywhere to live. I wanted to bring you. I wanted to make sure you had something. You had a place that you could call home after that, somewhere you could rest and recover and be with you. Still be with your people.
The people you sent to look for me were gang members. Are you? Vigor, are you?
I'm a criminal.
Oh.
My God.
Oh.
Vigor
Well,
Vigor gets up actually, and he says, "Come with me for a bit."
Yeah, she sort of stands up stiffly.
Yeah, the Zora stands with
Yeah.
her.
And Vigor I'm gonna. Let me show you one of the shelters. It's not
All right, yeah.
Zebedee, and it barely begins to make up for it, but yeah. Vigor leads them to like probably the nearest shelter that was like to
Right.
the inn.
Yeah. Do you lead her like someplace where some people from Zebedee still are?
Yeah, if there's anywhere,
yeah.
like there was some people who haven't quite moved
Yeah.
along yet.
Yeah.
As he's walking, he just as we were kind of approaching, Vigor says, "I realized a long time ago, and I know it sounds like a cop out, but you can never make up for the past. It's a big unchanging wall that will just follow you behind you in life. Best you can do is look away. Best you can do for others is hide it, and I did for a while. You can't make up for the past, but you can try and make the present better, and that's what I wanted. That's what I'm trying to do with these shelters. When I was a kid, my village got destroyed, and I wasn't thinking of that when what happened to Zebedee happened."
Yeah, again, she's just pretty silent. So yeah, you enter a shelter where some Zebedean people are. Some Zebedeers.
Zebedeers.
Yeah. When you enter, she's just sort of looking around, just sort of lost and confused. When some or in a few older elves approach her, asking, "Silvana, is that you?" And she engage, she just has very brief, very awkward exchanging of conversation with them, but very short. But they hug her, say they're happy to see her, that she's alive, that they've been worrying about her, and ask what. And some of them but all just kind of end on asking her but what have you been doing? Because your eyes don't have those bright. They basically just kind of tell her, your eyes, they don't have that bright imaginative spark that they always had. And yeah, she just kind of briefly just tells them that she's been making her own life, and it's been a lot, before they sort of head off, and she just sort of starts twiddling with her dagger again.
I'm gonna
as she just looks around.
This won't mean anything because everyone's traumas of the world to them, and mine won't mean anything to you. When I was a kid, I saw my village burnt down. I spent years fighting to change something, to fix something, to ensure it would never happen again. Years and years were wasted chasing that, and you're going to feel that for a long time, and everyone you meet is going to tell you, well, I've got no right to judge you, but such and such and this and that, and that's because everyone feels like they've been through their own hell in some way, especially in Hemlock. This building this shelter, doing this doesn't mean that made some great realization I'm all that much better than anyone else because I've caused my share of misery. But this is just the way I'm trying to fix things now.
Yeah, after like a bit of a pause, you just asked, Vigor, how many people have you killed?
Vigor pauses that and how many people have I killed? Far too many, I guess. And not all of them had it coming.
How many did have it coming?
The worst part is I don't even know that. I can't even split it.
And how many people have come to these shelters?
There would probably be a count of that. How many would it be? Would it be in the hundreds? Would it be in the, like...
It'd probably be in the low, probably be in like the 200 to 300s.
Okay. Yeah.
The hundreds. Yeah.
200-300.
A few hundred.
Yeah. It's what it just says a few hundred. I don't know if it begins to make up for anything, but
You said you're a criminal. Who? What do you do?
I don't do much anymore. What is our current operation? We've got a drug running route. We've got
we have like
drug running route.
drug run, prostitution, probably some like I mean we do favors for people. Vigor would probably the Fights Boys would probably do a lot of favors and do a lot of like bouncer at like clubs and brothels and that sort of thing.
It's probably like a lot of it is just very low tier criminal at this point. It's not like big murder anymore. It's like nowadays we have a, let's just say not too many people get hurt nowadays. I try and make sure we avoid that. If there's no need for people to get hurt, it looks bad for us and it's bad for business.
And what do you do about all the muggings, the killings that happen in this city?
They get beaten up and tossed in jail.
Yeah.
Like Vigor is just like reflecting on the fact that a few years ago, a guy threatening to suicide bomb a place was a local celebrity. So morality is really just something else here. You got to adapt. Everyone's got their own definitions of criminal. There's been good criminals and bad lawmen. That goes back forever.
Vigor?
Yeah?
Do you think there's such a thing as a good person?
Yeah, I do.
Like, have you met any of them? Have you met one?
Yeah. They're fleeting. They come and go, and there's far too few of them, but they're out there.
The first thing, I spent a few months not talking and not doing anything after the town burned down. Months and years after that, well, the first thing I did was I practiced my left jab. Just like you showed me.
Yeah, alright, Vigor walks out in front of her and like puts his arms out. Show me.
Yeah, she tosses out a jab, and it is refined. This is a refined jab. Like, you can tell this has been practiced every day for the past few years.
Yeah, Vigor thought he was gonna have to mock take the hit, but he goes back. Yeah, you sure as hell did.
The idea of you, I got it in my head. I didn't even really know the idea of you. We only exchanged those I had a few days. The end, before you left, you taught me that jab. I had it in my head that the best way to honor who I thought you were would be to, well, dedicate myself to using that jab to right as many wrongs as I could, which turned into trying to find monsters to kill, which turned into finding the monsters that were in the men, which led to me adopting Custer and going around and seeing all the muggings and robberies and people just trying to ruin lives with their power addictions, and just going out and brutalizing them as much as I could with the jabs, the punches, and everything else I taught myself. I spent the past few years of my life punishing, not even punishing, just removing the ills of that city. I knew I wasn't actually making much. I wasn't actually doing anything to change life. I knew there was always going to be more evil in the way. I knew there would always be lives that I could not save, but I somewhere along the way I realized that I was doing it for me and not for them. And sometime after that I realized that I was doing it, that I was fine with that fact. That as long as I was living up to what I figured you would have wanted. I know you're not the vigor that I thought you were. But do you think the vigor that you are and the one that I thought you were, do you think either of them would be proud of what I've become?